Hello, this is Cushion for Alice from £1 Meals. I've tried to record this once and YouTube messed up and deleted it, so I'm going to go through quickly running through it. I'm going to make an oven bake. I have some potato. I know I said I wouldn't use white potato, but they're convenient and they're not exactly non-primal. So I've warmed up to them a little bit. So I've got myself 300 grams of white potato here that has been, well, peeled and sliced into pieces, just sliced across into pieces about a centimetre thick. I have 2 hard-boiled eggs now that I hard-boiled earlier that I'm peeling. So that potato, because I get them in large sacks, will cost me about 7p for those 300 grams of potato. And these eggs cost me 8p each, as usual, from the wonders of Lidl. And still not doing free range eggs here because, well, students. Plus, it doesn't really fit into £1 meals very well when I want to do something substantial. At the moment, I'm working quite hard because I'm trying to build a bit of muscle there, and, well, I'm eating a lot of protein, and I don't think that supplements are quite in the spirit of budget paleo or in the price range, really. So, yep, just eating good natural foods and getting plenty of protein. And I was just saying, this is not at all representative of my egg peeling skills. I don't know what's happened here, but by some miracle, this egg was actually peelable, whereas the one I had just earlier today at lunch was not. So let's fingers crossed, I'm going to be able to peel this one too, just as efficiently. The sound in the background is the oven, and I like to speak a bit louder now because I've remembered that the oven makes lots of noise. And it is on and it is warming up some tallow. Now, the tallow has cost me nothing at all. If you want to know how to do this yourself, what you have to do is you have to go to a local butcher. Don't bother doing this if you don't go to a butcher. The butcher's stuff is more expensive than the meat you usually buy, because you do, well, it works better if you're a customer there, and if you're not a customer there, they may just say no or piss off. But to become a customer, you obviously have to buy stuff there. If you don't usually buy that stuff, or it's about outside your price range, don't do it because the fat's no longer free. So I have this butcher around the corner. I go to them for lamb heart and for bacon. They do massive packs of bacon, sort of 3 kilos for £5 size. So I get sort of 3 kilo packs and squeeze it and eat my way through that. It's basically what we call festival bacon or misshapes. So not good for eating raw. I do say that raw bacon is the brave man's hot ham, but not that bacon. I'm not that brave. And yeah, what I've done is I got some fat, some beef fat, and I threw it in the oven to melt. Basically, you cut your fat into pieces about that big, about the size of slightly larger than a £2 coin, well, inch to an inch and a half across, and you put that in the oven, and you put it not on top heat. If your oven's top heat is sort of 250, you put it on at, say, I don't know, if your oven's top heat is 250, you put it on, say, 200, 180, and you leave it in there, and after a while, you can check in. It takes only about 20 minutes maximum, usually about 10. You can check in, and there's this layer of grease at the bottom, liquid, and you get a tub like this that you already know to be able to cope with the heat of having fats and stuff poured into it. And you just pour it in, then you pop the bits back in the oven, and you carry on that process until the bits of fat are nice and crispy. The bits you originally put in are quite a bit smaller than originally. And then, well, you take them out and have them to nibble, pour out the last of that fat into the tub, and voila, you have free cooking fat, which, well, how high quality it is depends on the butcher and what sort of meats they get and what sort of cut it was off. Heavens, if you do buy at an organic butcher, there's a good chance you can get some nice organic fat there, which, yeah, strongly advocate going for. And it will absolutely certainly taste better too than the commercial lards you can get, because it is not half as processed, and you can season it yourself. Just getting a bit of skin off. You can season it yourself with whatever herbs seasonings you like, just by when you put the fat in the oven in the tray, just spread some spices and herbs around at the bottom of the tray, and then as the fat heats up, it will absorb that. Obviously, you have to add a few more herbs and spices every time you drain the fat out, but it'll still be quite good. I'm going to check this. Yay. Now there is a nice coating of tallow in the bottom of my pan. You can already see it very well, it's there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get these potatoes, the screen so you can see, drop them in, turn them over to make sure that they're coated, drop it in, turn it over, drop it in, turn it over. Just do that, repeat that process for every single potato, and after that we will throw them in the oven. I'm popping them in at about, well, 200 degrees, 200 even. I'm not sure if it actually matches the degrees Celsius, but it's 200 on my oven, and that works quite well. It's basically 4/5 of the way to top heat. There we go. That's an easy one for anyone. Pop it in your oven at 4/5 of the way to the usual top heat of your oven, and there's a good chance it'll be the right heat. If it isn't, then, well, or you're uncertain, just check on the potato repeatedly, like you're incredibly paranoid and nothing bad will happen. You'll just have to turn it down or turn it up a bit if it's not behaving appropriately. So, I'm going to see how long this takes, because I can't remember from last time how long it actually takes to get these potatoes done. So I'm going to throw them into the oven, and then I'll get back to you when I know exactly how long this takes. So, half an hour,